For over 20 years, the Thomas Wooden Railway has continued to put smiles on millions of children throughout the world. Over the last couple of decades, hundreds of Thomas's friends and rolling stock have been released. Many of these only lasted for a short while, and others have survived the test of time since day one. Join me every Friday as we spotlight one character a week. This is Character Friday. Hey everyone! Today we're going to be featuring a railway traction engine named Fergus. Painted in navy with gold boiler bands and red wheels, this nifty looking engine is identified mainly by his unique flywheel. Fergus prides himself in working at the cement works and lives by the saying, "Do it right." This huge-hearted engine is a live-by-the-rule-book kind of guy and is more than willing to help others in trouble. A piece of trivia that you may not know is that during the filming of Bill, Ben, and Fergus, the Fergus model was damaged, which may have contributed to him not appearing after the 7th episode. Another piece of trivia that you may not know is that the nifty flywheel that I previously mentioned can be used to power tools like a saw, pump, or drill. Although I don't have the power cars pictured with Fergus, in 2011 he was offered together with two power cars. One car was a spotlight car and the other was a power generator car, which both had the ability to light up and flash for a short period of time. Although I don't believe Fergus to be a necessity at all, I think some may like the power cars, particularly the lights. I know my son does. Thanks for watching, and remember that every Friday's a Character Friday. Hey everyone, every good story needs a good motherly figure. Well, here we go. This character is not as well known and she is not an engine. Madge is a three-wheel cab and flatbed. Known as a motherly figure to the narrow-gauge engines, she is also loving and playful at times. Most will categorize her as a Lorry, but not to be mistaken as Lorry 1, 2, and 3. More specifically, Madge is based on a 1964 Scrommel Scarab 6-ton tractor lorry. Mostly colored green alongside her trailer and bottom half of her cab, Madge's headlights and top half of her cab are cream. A little piece of trivia that you may not know is that Madge is the third vehicle on the line. The first vehicle would be Caroline, then Elizabeth, and the fourth being Isabella. Another piece of trivia that you may not know is that in the 2008 yearbook, Madge's picture was of her take-and-play model instead of her Thomas Wooden Railway one. If you're in the market for a non-engine piece for your Thomas set, this would not be my first choice. There would be a few other pieces that I would highly recommend adding before Madge, such as Caroline and Isabella. Of course, this choice varies upon personal taste. Madge really just doesn't have that many appearances in the TV series, and many people have never even heard of her. If you're looking to top off your collection, Madge is fairly inexpensive and easy to find online. Thanks for watching, and remember that every Friday's a Character Friday. Hey guys, welcome back to another Character Friday. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Rocky the Crane. This crane engine originates back in 2007 and originated back to Season 10's Edward Strikes Out. In most of his television roles, Rocky had mostly cameos and non-speaking parts, which is why I was very surprised by his 2007 release. Quite honestly, I don't remember my son's obsession with Rocky starting until the Misty Island rescue days. The background on this gentle giant is that he was new to Sodor, and Gordon and Edward were very skeptical about Rocky's capabilities, until one day Edward left the docks without properly securing his cargo. Then Rocky, our gentle giant, enters the picture. He of course saves the day, and on other occasions has helped lift engines, coaches, and trucks and heavy objects. Currently, Rocky resides at the Sodor Search and Rescue Center. Rocky is modeled after a Ransoms and Rapier 45-ton steam crane that was built around 1945. He is dull red color with yellow hazard stripes. A piece of trivia that you may not know is that Rocky does not have windows on his front cab, which makes it very difficult for the operator to see ahead of him. Another piece of trivia that you may not know is that the prototype of Rocky had a long magnet string, while the actual model had a much shorter magnet string. This is a big favorite in my family, since he's been featured in a lot of the recent Big Thomas movies. I would suggest this to any little kid for sure. He's a little bit expensive, but fairly easy to get. Thanks for watching, and remember that every Friday's a Character Friday. Hey everyone, today we're featuring a dark blue engine with red stripes. Yep, you guessed it, Hank. This two-piece engine and tender is a Pennsylvania Railroad Class K4S Pacific American tender engine with buffers added to the back of his tender for coupling. One of the unique things about Hank, besides all of his bells and whistles, is his red cow catchers. This leads me up to my first piece of trivia. Did you know that Hank is one of the only few engines in the Thomas Wooden Railway without front magnets? Such as the Thomas Winter Wonderland train, as well as the Sodor Railway repair. Another piece of trivia that you may not know is that the model maker and designer John Lee, who was interviewed by the Sodor Island fan site, Hank was originally designed to have a much older face with a mustache. But by the request of HIT Entertainment, John made Hank look a little bit slightly younger and more jolly. Although not a very well-known engine, you may know Hank from Season 12. All in all, this big blue jolly guy is a sweet engine to have, but not necessarily a must. You can pick up Hank for fairly easy and inexpensive. Thanks for watching, and remember that every Friday's a Character Friday. Hey everyone, welcome to the 25th episode of Character Friday. Today we're going to be taking a look at a well-known and beloved character who even has a theme song for himself. This pride of the skies, as the song says, is none other than Harold the helicopter. As one of the few from the island of Sodor that travel by air, this character is modeled after a Sikorsky S-55 helicopter with added floats that was originally built in the UK. He is painted white with red lining. Although Harold at times can be slightly arrogant about thinking he is superior to the railways, he always comes around and helps out with flying colors. When the recently released Misty Island Rescue movie came out, Harold eventually joined the Sodor Search and Rescue team and now resides in the Sodor Search and Rescue Center in his own hangar. Some trivia that you may not know is that Harold's TV series model did not have moving eyes until around the 10th season. However, by season 12, Harold was fully CGI. Another piece of trivia that you may not know is that Harold's original model has one staple on the bottom. And if you're looking for the name on his bottom, well, he has never been labeled on his underside until around the redesign in 2011. If anyone is interested in taking a peek at Harold's original models, it is currently on display at the Nitrogen Studios in Canada. All in all, I believe Harold to be an awesome character that any kid or adult would love. He is fairly easy to get and inexpensive too. Thank you all for the support over the last year. I really appreciate all the encouraging comments. Thanks for watching, and remember that every Friday's a Character Friday. Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the little green guy that loves to be covered in dirt. Alfie is a sweet little excavator that works for the Sodor Construction Company. All should not underestimate his small size because he can handle even the toughest of jobs, and he loves every minute of it. Alfie is modeled after a 1960 K1C10 and K excavator. His body is green while his cab is painted white, and the number 12 is painted along his sides. Kids may be a tad bit turned off because Alfie really didn't appear in very many TV episodes, although he did make a cameo in the Great Discovery movie. A little piece of trivia that you may not know is that Alfie's prototype had all black wheels, while his final model had the correct cream and white hubcaps. My only gripe about this model is that about 70% of him is made out of plastic, although from looking at him it would have been pretty impossible to make him fully out of wood due to his articulating claw. Although Alfie may not be one of the more popular characters, he is quite a cute little guy that my kids love. I would definitely recommend Alfie to add to your collection if you are in the market to expand your collection of the Sodor Island family. Thanks for watching, and remember that every Friday's a Character Friday. Hey everyone, today we're featuring Jack. This friendly, hard-working front-loader is the best friend to Alfie. Alfie and Jack's friendship dates back to the days when he stood up for Max, who was bullying him and Alfie around. Another tie that Alfie and Jack share is that they are both part of the Pack, amongst other construction machines that were owned by Miss Jenny. Initially, there was supposed to be a spin-off of the series, but it never came about, and the Pack only appeared in a few episodes. A few also appeared in The Great Discovery, except Nelson, Patrick, Isabella, and Byron. Although it is unknown as to what type of vehicle Jack is based on, it is said that he resembles a Nuffield tractor. The top half of his cab is painted cream, while the rest of his body is red-orange. His side, the number 11, is painted in white. A character trait that seems to get Jack in trouble is that his enthusiasm pushes him to take on tasks that are much too big for him. Excitingly enough, as the King of the Railway quickly approaches, so does the new Jack, which will be reintroduced in 2013. I do believe that Jack's popularity will increase with the movie, but I will let you decide if he's a necessity. Thanks for watching, and remember that every Friday's a Character Friday. Hey everyone, welcome back to Character Friday. Today we're going to be featuring a stationary character. This is none other than the crankiest of cranks, Cranky the Crane. This dockside crane stands towering over all the other engines at Brendam Docks and works day and night, which contributes to his cranky demeanor. He is painted olive and has black and brown pulleys amongst his mechanisms and 2 work plates on each side of him that says Cranky. A piece of trivia that you may not know is that Cranky's 2013 model prototype has a smaller magnet than the actual release. Another piece of trivia that you may not know is that the earlier versions of Cranky actually resembled more of a gray paint exterior as opposed to the later olive green. If you would ever like to take a look at Cranky's original models, he is on display at the Nitrogen Studios in Canada, which seems to hold a few other of our favorite characters. I really like this character, and I believe him to be a must for any Thomas fan. You can pick him up on eBay used for a decent price, but he's worth every penny. I also love the personality of Cranky. Sure, he seems to have a tough exterior, but deep down inside, he has a kind side to him. A funny side note is that Cranky has befriended a seagull named Seagull, but doesn't like animals. Go figure the irony of it all. Thanks for watching, and remember, every Friday's a Character Friday.
Hey, who are you? I'm Cranky. No, I'm Cranky. No, I'm Cranky. Hey, that's my cargo. No, that's my cargo. No, it's mine. Mine.
Hey everyone, it is yet again another Character Friday. I am excited to share with you my little yellow engine friend named Proteus. All who find this special engine are indeed lucky, or so he is said to be. This narrow-gauge tank engine straight off Skarloey's railway is said to have a legend saying that if someone finds the lamp, their wishes will be granted. The question is, how would one know what clues to look for? Supposedly, you will feel a rush of wind, hear a creaking sound, and see a flickering light. Boy, if you ask me, I might have to pass on getting my wish with all these creepy clues. If you ever get to actually see Proteus, you will find that he's painted bright yellow with red lining and has a lamp hanging off his funnel. Some trivia that you may not know is that the Trackmaster release of Proteus had him have the number 3 on his side, just like Sir Handel, which is one of the reasons why people believe Proteus's model to have been repainted as Sir Handel. Also, as a note of caution, please beware of knockoff models. There are Proteuses out there that do not have a lamp. They are imposters. All in all, I'm not too keen on this model design, and to be honest, we really don't have a huge background on this character. If your collection is thin, I would say there are much better characters to add than Proteus. Thanks for watching, and remember that every Friday's a Character Friday.
Let's get ready to hello and welcome to Character Friday. Today we're going to be giving you a front row seat to the event of the century. Today in Sodor, they're going to be having the first annual World Wrestling Engine Federation. Up in the ring today on the right, we have none other than the devious Iron Bert, and on the left, we have none other than the equally as devious Iron Arry. These two diesels are ready to set the record straight on who is the better of these twin grim messengers of doom. Let's take a quick look at their stats. Both Bert and Arry are green-gray with yellow calves, and they have yellow hazard stripes painted on their front. On the sides, they have the Sodor Ironworks written in white. Although they may look identical if you take a closer look, you will see that Mr. Bert has a more stubbly kind of look to him. He needs to shave. Anyways, these troublemakers are known to have disliked Steamies in the past, but since have come to terms with their unworthy Steamy counterparts. A piece of trivia that you may not know is that Arry and Bert's Hornby models have Splatter and Dodge's faces on them. However, their model was supposed to be based off the character Diesel. These BR Class 08 shunters have earned themselves multiple names as Iron Bert and Iron Arry, and the Yellow Diesels, and my personal favorite,
The Grim Messengers
due to their grim jobs of melting down engine. If you don't have Iron Bert or Arry in your collection, I highly recommend them. Thanks for watching, and don't forget that every Friday's a Character Friday.
Hey everyone, welcome back yet to another Character Friday. Today we're taking a look at a naughty, ill-tempered double-decker bus named Bulgy. Bulgy is an AEC Bridgemaster bus that is colored red and yellow. Later on, Bulgy changes into a green and yellow double-decker bus with a neon green mobile grocery store sign on his side. His metamorphosis is due to becoming a mobile vegetable stand to help out the local farmer. Another bonus is that he doesn't have to be bothered by people's complaints and those dirty, messy chickens. Unfortunately, if you're interested in Bulgy's slick green model, it's only available as far as I know in the Trackmaster collection. His original red and yellow model has a banner that supports the Anti-Rail League on one side and a green railway bus sign on the other. Another noticeable difference beside Bulgy's changing colors is that he's one of the few wooden railway models that is not smiling. I think it's because he's good friends with Diesel. A piece of trivia that you may not know is that Bulgy's model was released 12 years after his television debut in 2003. A second piece of trivia that you may not know is that in the 7th season of the UK narration, Bulgy develops a lisp. If you are ever interested in taking a closer look at Bulgy's original model, you can go ahead and check him out at the Drayton Manor in Thomasland in the UK. I would have to say Bulgy's a nice addition to any layout, but he's definitely not a necessity. Thanks for watching, and remember that every Friday's a Character Friday. Is he in the picture? Oh, wait, don't touch him.
Okay? Gotta be quiet. Okay, shh. Everybody quiet. Everybody quiet. Ready? Shh. Shh. Here we go. Quiet. Okay? Shh. Here we go. Shh. We're quiet time. Okay, here we go. Quiet. Don't say anything. Quiet time. Here we go. Don't say anything. Shh. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Character Friday. I wonder who's in the spotlight for today. Wait a minute. If you clicked on this video, then you already know, like big thumbnail and title. Anyways, meet Connor. This new 2013 character is quite an addition to the Thomas Wooden Railway. According to the Thomas the Tank Engine Wikia,
More information in the description below.
Connor is a streamlined engine from the mainland. He is specifically designed for speed.
Speed, I am speed.
Just like Caitlin, Connor loves to race other engines and has a reputation of being a very patient engine. His daily route generally consists of transporting visitors between the mainland and Ulfstead Castle. A piece of trivia that you may not know is that Connor is based on the New York Central Railroad Hudson. Connor first appeared in the recent TV series episode 17, titled Calm Down Caitlin, but will be having a much bigger role this time around in the new upcoming movie, Thomas, king of the railway. Well, there's not much to say here. Well, if I could nitpick just a little, I'd like to see Mattel release his and Caitlin's 2 coaches in wooden form. But overall, I think he's a great addition to the ever-growing library of characters in the Thomas world. Thanks for watching. And don't forget that every Friday's a Character Friday. Hey everyone, guess what day it is? Yes, it is yet another Character Friday. Let's take a trip down memory lane and see who we have spotlighted thus far. This is episode 33. Today we're taking a look at an impatient and impulsive bright orange engine named Billy. Billy is a Manning Wardle L Class 06 OST that is identified by his big buck teeth. The only other engine that had these notable buck teeth that I can think of is Ferdinand. Although this engine is sometimes overconfident and inattentive, he is also enthusiastic and energetic. If he focused and used all of his good qualities, then he would be a very useful engine. Billy, or also known as Silly Billy, got his notoriety and his nickname from his first appearance in Season 11, from the episode named Silly Billy. A little piece of trivia that you may not know is that Billy's model was used as the basis for Charlie. Jlouvier fun fact: my older son had a slight attachment to this quirky little fellow when he was a very young toddler. One day, he fell down and landed on Billy, leaving him with a Harry Potter scar. Anyways, thanks for watching. And remember that every Friday's a Character Friday. Hey everyone, welcome back to another Character Friday. Today, we're featuring the infamous blue two-faced engine named Mighty Mac. This guy is set apart from his locomotive friends of Sodor by his not one, but two-faced ends. On one side, Mighty Mac is known as Mighty, or the older of the two halves, while on the other end, he is known as Mac, the younger of the two. Beside their different names, Mighty is shown to have a small flick of hair with an older appearance, while Mac is shown to have a more youthful round-faced look with some freckled cheeks. Mighty Mac is painted a royal blue with gold and red lining. He is based off a double Fairlie locomotive with added buffer beams. A piece of trivia that you may not know is that Mighty Mac is the only wooden model to have bipolar magnets on both ends, which is a positive and negative charge. The second piece of trivia that you may not know is that Mighty Mac was the second wooden railway engine to have a face on each side, the first one being Bulgy, who is a mountain engine. Although this engine has quite a unique look, it is unfortunate that they are constantly in disagreement on who is in charge. I guess I would have the same problem if I had two faces too. Thanks for watching. And remember that every Friday's a Character Friday. Wait a minute, bacon-flavored root beer? Now that might be taking it a little too far. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Character Friday. Today we're taking a look at one of the trio of mischief makers, or otherwise known as one of the Brothers Grimm. Lorry 1 is a red truck with a flatbed based off the AEC Hansen lorries, which is accompanied by a blue cargo piece, although the one I'm showing you is not blue. Lorry 1 is the most popular amongst his other two brothers, but is equally as mischievous. Lorry 1 is also the most common of the three to be released, and was the only one to be sold separately. Some of the sets that he was sold with include the Down by the Dock set and the Sodor Recycling Center. A piece of trivia that you may not know is that Lorry 1 is the only one of the Horrid Lorry trios to have been accompanied with a character card. I would highly recommend Lorry 1 to any Thomas fan. Although a little harder to get than some of the more well-known Thomas character, he is a mighty cool piece to have in your collection. As far as the brothers go, they are a bit more difficult to hunt down, but enough with them. This review is all about Lorry 1. Thanks for watching, and remember that
Every Friday is a Character Friday.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another Character Friday. Today we are showcasing a somewhat not as well-known character named Sir Handel. Thanks for watching, and remember that every Friday's a Character Friday. Okay, fooled ya. Now for the real review. Originally built at the Falcon Works in Loughborough, England, Sir Handel was originally named as Falcon. After the Mid-Sodor Railway closed in 1947, Sir Handel, aka Falcon, alongside his friend Stuart, were sold to the Aluminum Works, where they were renamed as Sir Handel and Peter Sam. Due to Sir Handel not being able to handle worn track, he was given a pair of special wheels with broad tires to give him a more smoother ride. This specialty might have only enhanced this engine's arrogance in believing that he is a grander engine. Some trivia that you may not know is that Sir Handel's Brio model has only 4 wheels while his original has 6. Another piece of trivia that you may not know is that Sir Handel's older model, Liverly, had a darker paint and broader colors than the TV series. Thanks for watching, and remember that every Friday's a Character Friday.
Number 01, he's lost the body. Now we'll find out if, no, they're gonna black flag 01.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Character Friday. Today we are going to take a look at a maroon with gold and black stripes Sentinel D G4 steam lorry. She has a 3-way tipper behind her cab. Elizabeth was previously owned by Sir Topham Hatt before he became the Fat Controller. Several decades later, Elizabeth was rediscovered by Thomas's crew after she had been sheeted in a shed. She was then restored to perfect working condition. Although Elizabeth strongly believes that the roads are far superior to track, she is a very helpful lorry and does not tolerate laziness or rudeness of any kind. A piece of trivia that you may not know is that Elizabeth's model is a base for Isabella.
Another piece of trivia that you may not know is that in the 6th season of the TV series, Elizabeth's shed was used as Toby's shed. If you are ever interested in taking a peek at Elizabeth's model, you can find her in Drayton Manor in Thomasland in the UK. Thanks for watching. And remember that every Friday's a Character Friday. Toot toot!
Hey Joe, hit button 4. No, that's 2. I said button 4. Ah, now that's much better. Alright, today we're featuring one of your requests. YouTube user Wallet says, "Gotcha, Josh. I want to see Wilbert, with an interesting looking smiley face. Thanks, Wally! Then we had YouTube user GWR Oliver. Do Wilbert, Duck, and Boko. I think I'll pick your first request. Thanks, Oliver. Next up, we have Mainline Engine number 2. Great Character Friday. I suggest Wilbert. Great suggestion, Mainline. Finally, we have Chris Malone. Awesome channel icon, by the way, Chris. He says, and I quote, great review. You should try Bertram, Wilbert, or Frank next. Thanks, Chris. Let's try Wilbert, shall we? The polite and clever engine named Wilbert, formerly known as GB Keeling. Wilbert is a navy blue saddle tank with red lining and black wheels. He also has a red nameplate with gold writing that read Rev W. Audrey underneath his name Wilbert on the Railway Series pictures only. His wooden railway version read only his name in gold. Originally, Wilbert was manufactured by the Hunslet Engine Company in England in 1953 as a shunter. He was later purchased by the Dean Forest Railway in 1976 and given the name G.B. Keeling in August of 1981. On September 13, 1987, he was then renamed to Wilbert after the president of the railway, Reverend W. Audrey. A piece of trivia that you may not know is that Wilbert was only featured in the Railway series. He can be occasionally found with the Trust Thomas DVD, but is pretty uncommon. A second piece of trivia that you may not know is that he's one of the few real engines that were made in wooden railway form. The other ones, at least I can think of, are Stepney and the Flying Scotsman. All in all, I believe Wilbert is a pretty cool little engine. He is slightly harder to get, but is worth the hassle. Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, it's a YouTube user, Useful Engine number 11 here, and I want to take this time to remind you that every Friday is a Character Friday.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Character Friday. Alright, let's take a look at this week's suggestions. Track M fan Homer says, great fit Josh, duck please. Retro Guy 55 says, can you do duck please? Then we have the I'm not exactly sure how that goes, but anyways, he says, do a review of duck. Everywhere I looked, it was duck, 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 this, duck, that, everywhere a duck, duck. So today, I'm extremely excited to show you Norman. Just kidding. Today, we're taking a look at a character picked out by none other than you. Montague is a green Great Western tank engine with added sandboxes, who is more fondly known by his waddle and nickname, Duck. He is painted in green livery with yellow lining and black wheels. Duck also has the letters GWR written on his side in yellow and red. You may notice when comparing the Railway Series Duck versus the Television Series Duck is that the Railway version has a GWR number plate 5741 on his cab sides and also 2 builder plates on the sides of his cabs. While the Television Series Duck has a yellow 8 written on each side of his cab with a black background. A piece of trivia that you may not know is that when Duck's model was purchased by Rev Audrey for his model railway, it was discovered that the wheels were uneven, giving him a waddle, which is how he received his nickname from Audrey's children. Another piece of trivia is that unlike most of the characters in the Railway series, the 5741 number that Duck carries is real. The real engine possessing that number was scrapped in 1958. Another piece of trivia sets Duck apart from the rest is that he has sandboxes, while most of the engines of his class don't. All in all, Duck is a great character to have. He is a hard-working, respectful engine that is definitely worthy of adding to anyone's collection.
Hi guys, this is Jordan Torgrosa here from the Railway Museum of Long Island, and I'd like to take the time to remind you that every Friday's a Character Friday.
everyone, welcome back to another Character Friday. Today we're taking a look at a quarry machine with 2 arms and caterpillar treads named Thumper. Built by the Sodor Mining Company, Thumper's sole purpose was to help clear rock in the quarry. With his cool dude attitude, you would have thought that this character would be very useful, except for one slightly overlooked problem. He is accident prone. Painted orange-red with his name painted in white on his side, Thumper is a pretty cool-looking character. Although he was only featured in 1 season of the TV series, where he didn't even speak, some may find his appearance to be the draw to want to purchase this machine. You can also see Thumper's briefly seen in a PC game called Building the New Line, where he helps clear rocks when they fall on the tracks. A cool feature about Thumper is that his drill arms move when you roll him forward. One piece of trivia that you may not know is that Thumper is not based off a specific quarry machine. Due to him not having a window at the front of the cab, the operator would not be able to see, making him extremely hazardous to use.
Hey guys, it's Jacob Breaker 123 here, and I just want to take this time to remind you that every Friday is a Character Friday.